Hello, everyone, and welcome. This is Susan Lopresti, and you are listening to the Susan Lopresti Wellness Mind, Body, Soul podcast. Thank you so much for listening. My intention for this podcast is to help mature women to look and feel their very best self through alternative healing modalities with a focus on functional medicine. Through diet and lifestyle changes, you can begin to notice an improvement in health and well-being in just a few weeks. Now, with that in mind, I do want you to understand that I am not a doctor, and by all means, if you are not feeling well, my best advice to you is to see your doctor right away. My focus is to help women to make better choices in food, exercise, self-care, relationships, and so much more. I believe that knowledge is power, and I give women the tools that are needed to prevent rapid aging and decline. I will show you how to slow down the aging process to make this time of life your best years ever. So knowledge is power. And I believe that when you have the knowledge and the tools that are needed to help you to stay healthy, you already have half the battle. If you've been enjoying my podcast, please let me know, leave me a comment. And if you feel that others would benefit from listening to my podcast, please share it out with them. I would love to help as many women as possible through my podcast and my health coaching programs. Again, thank you so much for listening, and let's move on with the episode. Hello and welcome. This is Susan Lopresti, and I am so grateful to have you here with me today. Today, I want to talk about diet, and in particular, the elimination diet. So the word diet has gained quite a negative reputation. It is often associated with unsustainable and unenjoyable way of eating, such as calorie restriction or cutting out entire food groups long term. However, when diets are administered in a maintainable manner, they can be incredible tools. In particular, the elimination diet is structured to gain a better understanding of how your body reacts to certain foods. It's a short-term eating plan that eliminates certain foods that are common in causing bodily distress. Then you reintroduce these foods one at a time to truly uncover how your body responds to them. And at first, it may seem intimidating to eliminate so many foods from your diet at once, but experimenting with your diet is one of the only ways to really understand how to properly nurture your body. The elimination solution. A food allergy is defined as an unpleasant or dangerous immune system reaction after you eat a certain food. More than 170 foods have been reported to cause an allergic reaction, and an estimated 15 million Americans suffer from at least one food allergy. In contrast, food sensitivities are not an immune reaction, but have a wider range of repercussions on the body. And the tricky part is that food allergies and sensitivities manifest in a number of different ways, and while they're usually self-diagnosable, they can be easily misinterpreted as well. So do you suffer from digestive issues or respiratory issues, rashes, water retention, acne, migraine headaches, congestion, fatigue, irritability, and brain fog? If you said yes to any or a few of these, the culprit very well might be on your plate. But there is no way of knowing that without isolating that offender, right? So that's what we need to do. So what are the common suspects? The major food allergens recognized by the FDA include milk, eggs, peanuts, wheat, soybeans, tree nuts, fish, and shellfish. There are many other foods that cause adverse reactions in people, but these 8 groups account for about 90% of the food allergic reactions. And many of the foods that we eat are derived from these ingredients. So it can take some time to do some real investigative work to sort through all of this. So let's go on to the next slide. How do we spot these allergens? Food companies have become quite skillful in hiding certain foods into our diet. And luckily, regulations on food labeling have made it much more accessible for the consumer to be aware of what they're eating, which is really very, very important. The common food allergens listed in my last post are particularly easier to spot on an ingredient label, as now it must be stated if ingredients are derived from one of these foods. For example, you may see flour, in parentheses, wheat, as clarification that the flour used in the product contains wheat. Additionally, at the end of the ingredient list, if there are any common allergens included in the product, you will see a bold list of what the product contains. Do you usually look at the ingredient label on the packaged food that you eat? That's the question. Have you noticed these allergens on the packaging? Most people do not read labels. So what are the foods to exclude? The list of foods to exclude during an elimination diet is comprehensive and may be a bit intimidating. However, it is designed to really help you understand how great your body is supposed to feel and what foods may be sabotaging your health. So eliminate dairy, gluten, soy, corn, eggs, refined sugar, peanuts, red meat, alcohol, caffeine, hydrogenated oils, packaged and processed foods. That's on the elimination diet. Why these foods? Everybody is different. Therefore, the reaction that people experience to certain foods vary widely. Up next, I'm going to go over the why behind most of the foods eliminated in the elimination diet. So the first offender is dairy. And when I went to see a functional medicine doctor, she said to me, if I had to tell you only one food to eliminate from your diet, it would be dairy. So that's something to really consider, because most people don't realize just the effects that dairy is having on your body. So let's get into that. 3 in 4 of all people are unknowingly intolerant to dairy-containing foods. Some people experience digestive stress due to a sugar in milk known as lactose, while others experience inflammation, increased allergies, asthma, and acne due to the protein beta-casein, A1, found in cow's milk. This usually does not show up on formal allergy tests. Some symptoms that are common to be present with a dairy intolerance include headaches, persistent cough, asthma, frequent colds, sinus pain, skin problems, bloating, and irritable bowel syndrome. Goodbye, gluten is the next one. Gluten, this is my problem, dairy and gluten, but certainly gluten, is a mixture of proteins found in various grains such as wheat, barley, and rye. It's often found in baked goods, breads, cereals, but it doesn't stop there. And believe me, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a gluten allergy, you know that it's hidden in so many foods. It can be found in unexpected places like soy sauce, canned soups, instant coffee, all of your condiments. Mustard could have gluten, ketchup could have it. So, did I say soy sauce? Yes, soy sauce. So many salad dressings will have it. So you really, really need to be careful about gluten. Over 1.5 million people in the United States suffer from a sensitivity to gluten. Whether it's from celiac disease or non-celiac gluten sensitivity, the body produces an abnormal immune response while trying to digest gluten. The gluten-free diet has become very popular in recent years, but not only for those who suffer from intolerance. Many people do not eat gluten out of a choice versus a health need. While it is unclear if this is a responsible thing to do in regards to our digestive health, it is important to truly know if you are suffering from this intolerance. So you definitely want to include it in your elimination diet. And then the secrets of soy and corn. And what do I mean by that? Approximately 90% of corn and soy products are from GMO crops. There is currently not enough evidence to suggest that consuming GMOs has adverse effects on human health. However, overproduction is a problem within itself. Soy and corn are among the largest United States farm commodities. Because of this mass production, they sneak into our food at an alarming rate. And corn is a staple in almost all processed foods in the form of high fructose corn syrup, vegetable oil, and many preservatives. Soy, too, is heavily processed. It has a high yield, and it is added into the majority of our food supply. Soy is an endocrine disruptor, and when eaten in excess, can have an adverse effect on the balance of hormones in your body. So this is really some serious stuff, especially if you're going through perimenopause and menopause. The anti-nutrient, what do I mean by that? Sugar promotes inflammation in the body. It elevates blood glucose levels and increases insulin production. It also offers an insignificant amount of vitamins and minerals, receiving the title as an anti-nutrient. Unfortunately, sugar hides in a lot of the foods that we eat every single day. Some surprisingly places you'll find sugar include ketchup, salad dressing, protein bars, peanut butter, oatmeal, and so many more. Sugar can cause a host of different health issues, including but not limited to diabetes, heart disease, depression, and also obesity. An oily mess. Hydrogenated oils are chemically altered to turn liquid oils into a solid form. They are added to foods to increase shelf life and flavors. These oils are proven to create chronic inflammation and in turn encourage disease in our body. Hydrogenated oils can be found in foods such as coffee creamers, vegetable shortening, margarine, fried foods, and packaged snacks. Foods with hydrogenated oils often have saturated fat. The best bet in spotting these dangerous oils is to always look through the nutritional facts and the ingredient list on the food label. More coffee, please. Did you know that an 8-ounce cup of coffee has approximately 95 milligrams of caffeine? Consuming just 200 milligrams of caffeine or just over 2 true cups of coffee a day can lead to addiction. Yet more than 21 million Americans drink an average of, sit down for this, 6 or more cups of coffee each day. That seems in excess, but it could be possible. Caffeine increases sugar cravings, it destabilizes blood sugar levels, and even weakens the adrenal glands. While caffeine does have some beneficial effects in small amounts, it is important to eliminate it during this diet to properly detoxify your body. And of course, you want to cut out the booze. Sorry, everyone. I know that's not what you want to hear, but consuming alcohol during an elimination diet can cause a lot of confusion in the body for a number of reasons. So first off, you may even be intolerant to alcohol. It could be caused by the foods used to produce alcohol, such as grains or grapes or other ingredients used in the production, like yeast and natural flavorings. So it is also possible to experience intolerance to histamine, which is also featured in alcohol. Histamine is a chemical involved in many of your body's processes, such as your immune system, your nervous system, and your digestive system. Even if there's no sensitivity present, alcohol disrupts the body's natural ability to detoxify and eradicate inflammation and disqualify various allergies. So it has to be eliminated. And then 3 weeks, the optimal time to keep these foods out of your diet is 21 to 23 days. This is very important because it is unlikely that you will notice a difference if you reintroduce these foods back into your diet any sooner than that. It takes approximately 3 weeks for the antibodies responsible for the negative food-related immune reactions to dissipate. Shortening this elimination period can affect the validity of the experiment. In other words, you will not experience relief from your symptoms if you do not give your body enough time without that food that may be causing them. The inclusion diet. One common mistake in participating in an elimination diet is focusing on what you have to eliminate versus embracing the things that you're still able to eat. So let's talk about that. Foods to include in your diet while you're going through this elimination phase is gluten-free grains. So you could have rice, you can have quinoa, you can have amaranth, you can have tapioca and buckwheat. Dairy substitutes, almond milk, coconut milk, hemp milk, and rice milk. Vegetables, all vegetables except corn. Whole fruits, fresh, frozen, or water-packed, provided that there's no added sugar or any added ingredients, and it's just the fruit alone. And you ultimately, you would like it to be organic, all your fruits and vegetables. Lean and clean animal protein, so wild game, lamb, organic chicken, and wild-caught fish. Nuts and seeds, beans, and most legumes, except for soybeans and peanuts. High-quality oils, coconut, avocado, and cold-pressed olive oil. You could have herbal teas, sweetener alternatives in moderation, so honey, blackstrap molasses, brown rice syrup, and then spices. When you focus on all the foods that are included in the elimination diet, it doesn't seem quite as challenging, right? And then let's go on to talking about reintroduction. The structure of the elimination diet is just as important as the comprehensive eliminate list. After the 3-week elimination phase, you will transition into reintroducing the food back in your diet. During the reintroduction phase, it's imperative to pay close attention to how each food makes you feel. This is done by introducing food groups one by one for 48 hours at a time. You would pick one food group to include in your diet again and take note with a food diary of how it makes you feel for the next 2 days. Try the same process again for an additional 2 days. If you don't notice any issues within that 4-day period, you can choose to reincorporate that food into your regular diet. And then you want to follow these steps with the remaining eliminated food groups. If any food seems to cause any health issues, stop eating them and wait until any symptoms subside before continuing the process of reintroducing. And then I just want to give you some extra tips. You want to plan ahead. Having food readily available that you can eat sets you up for success. Read labels. As mentioned before, a lot of potential allergens hide in many of the foods that we eat every day, right? Embarking on an elimination diet requires reading ingredient labels to ensure that you do not accidentally consume food that may disrupt the result of this diet. And then you want to stay hydrated. It is common to confuse dehydration for hunger. Remembering to drink enough water throughout the day will help you to control your cravings and also to feel satisfied. And you also want to write it out. Keeping a food journal, like I just mentioned, to track your initial symptoms, how you feel while eliminating, and how you feel when you reintroduce these certain foods. And your overall experience with the elimination diet provides an incredible amount of information on your health and your professional and your potential food intolerances. Common mistakes. Quitting in the beginning. It is not uncommon for you to feel the worst the first few days. This happens because the body is essentially withdrawing from foods that your body is used to having, especially if your body's default is a high state of inflammation. It takes different mechanisms for your body to find balance while healing. Lacking nutrient-dense foods. Well, there are many foods that you do not eat while you're on the elimination diet. There is still plenty that are allowed. However, limiting yourself to only a short list of foods rather than implementing a lot of variety can lead to a lack of nutrients that are needed for your body. So failing to plan ahead without efficient planning, you put yourself in the position of falling off plan. And it's very important to stay true to the elimination diet, or else you will significantly skew your results. And skipping on the reintroduction phase. The reintroduction phase is crucial in uncovering potential food sensitivities and intolerances. If you do not follow the system of reintroducing one at a time, it's hard to differentiate which food is truly causing the symptoms. And I have tons of recipes that I will share with you in the show notes. So you could go back and get some recipes and help you with that. And then a recipe simulator. This is an awesome recipe simulator where you input the ingredients that you have or you'd like to work with, and you're given different recipe ideas. And I'll give you the information for that as well. So are you ready to feel great? I know that I just shared a ton of information with you, and it may be a little bit overwhelming, and that's okay. Changing your eating habits and taking control of your health requires a lot of effort, but it is incredibly rewarding as well. We often do not know what foods are truly bothering us, and doing an elimination diet is an incredible way to decipher what we personally should or should not be eating to achieve optimal health. If you feel that you need support on starting and following through on an elimination diet, I am absolutely here to help. If any one of you is struggling to achieve your goals, I am opening up 2 private health coaching programs. They started in April. If you've been wanting to make changes to improve your health and to look and feel your best, you are not alone. So many women reach an age where they are realizing that the years are beginning to creep up on them. They are not happy with the way they are feeling, and they're certainly not happy when they look in the mirror. So my 12-week Goddess program is a unique and a customized program for each client who decides to join me for this transformation. This program sets you up for success long after the 12 weeks is ended. You will be armed with the tools and the resources to accomplish your goals that you have set for yourself, whatever it is. I'm also doing a 4-week Goddess Healing program. This program is a comprehensive program to work with me at an affordable rate to put you on the right path to achieve your health and wellness goals. Based on your health assessment and your goals, I will lay out a tailor-made program specifically for your needs. And this program runs for 4 weeks. So I will drop the links for both of those programs. And so basically, both of them look something like this. You get a 30-minute health assessment to discuss your goals and your desires. Once we decide that we're a right fit for each other, we would meet 2 times a week for 1-hour sessions. The topic of your choice for each session, because the client always leads. The topic may include weight management, food cravings, sleep, energy, stress management, digestive and gut health, food allergies, hormonal issues, bone health, brain health, heart health, metabolic syndrome, and then also a whole host of primary food discussions, life factors, career, relationships, spirituality, family, home environment, finances, creativity, joy, and also home cooking. Well, I'll also provide suggested meal plans and recipes based on the client's needs, and clients will be able to virtually share their pantry and their refrigerator for a health assessment and an alternative, healthier recommendation. And then we could also talk about lifestyle, styling, and imaging consulting, because I have 15 years in the fashion industry as well. So if this sounds like something that you need, please reach out to me and schedule the free 30-minute health assessment to see if we're a good fit for each other. My email address is susan@susanlopresti.com. You could also go to www.susanlopresti.com. Again, thank you so much for listening. I wish you the best for the rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you here again next time. Take good care, everyone.
If you've been enjoying my podcast, I hope you're getting to know me better and to know my style of coaching and inspiring women. And that really is the purpose of this podcast. It's to teach and inspire women in midlife and older to know that better health is achievable with the help and guidance from someone who's been where you are and has been able to overcome those symptoms to feel better now in my 60s than I ever did in my 40s. I'm offering a free 30-minute health assessment to any woman on here listening who is not happy with how they look and they feel. You could set up the call with the link. I'll put it in the show notes. Schedule this call with me, but you are under no obligation to continue any further. If after speaking, you and I feel that we are a good fit for each other and you do want to proceed with private health coaching, I am offering a 12-week program that will get you well on your way to achieving optimal wellness. So let's do that 30-minute call. You have nothing to lose.